Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's Larry. Decided to do some more videos now that I'm off for a couple of days. I had a procedure I done at the hospital this morning, but it's done with. So anyhow, I'm gonna try to do some more videos for you. I'm actually uploading the other half of the cemetery one out of Pleasant Valley, crossing that school. It's actually going right now as we speak at my camper on the laptop. I went and transferred it over, and I'm now transferring that one over, so you'll be able to see that one probably in the next, it says about another hour for it to upload, because it was a little longer video than what the other one was. But yeah, I'm gonna turn this phone around real quick so you know I can get my steering wheel. But yeah, I'm uploading that one, so it says about an hour for upload, and then it'll be on there, the second half. But yeah, I'm gonna start moving. I'm probably not getting out of the truck a whole lot. I'm just gonna try to, at least at this spot anyways, I'm just gonna try to video this while I'm moving slow in the truck. Yeah, at the park here in Neosho Falls, I'm gonna try to video some of the falls here so y'all can see that. Right now we're actually staying at our sister's house in the camper on our property, so makes it easy to get over here. Where before this, a couple days before this, we was over in Chanute, which one day I might just drive over there and get video of that, some of that area, and let y'all see that too. But right now we'll start out with this one and show you what's in the falls. It's not very much. It's a country, basically what you call a country out in the boonies town. There's nothing here but a post office. It used to be a bar, but it's no longer open, which I'll video that for you. And then there's an old school that's behind the post office that used to be, up until 67, it was kindergarten, I believe, till 8th grade, and then 9th to 12th, kids went to Yates Center High School. There was no high school here, so, but this used to be the county seat prior to that, until the flood came through here in 1951 and wiped this town clean. If you look it up online, it's called Neosho Falls, Neosho, and then Falls. You might find some articles or something online about it. How it used to be a booming town, had over 2,000 people, and then that flood in 51 before the dam was put in over here wiped this town clean. So this is where it's at right now. This is what I'm going to show you is all that's left of it. So I'm going to start moving and we'll get on with the video. So anyhow, this is where, obviously somebody was out here at one point. I don't know what exactly how they were parked or anything, but this is where me and my fiance parked the camper at one point prior to moving to Chanute. We were sitting here, best spot because it's all gravel and everything, not grass. But this whole rest of this park, over here, sorry about those smelly trees hanging in the window, but over here you can park campers in different places. There's barbecue pits there. There is, sorry about that folks, I'm gonna try to get these out of my way so y'all can see more. Yeah, over here, I don't know if you can see it because I'm actually in the truck, but there is a outlet there to plug regular 110. By the way, you have to have 110 out here, except for the one I showed you back there that I was at, and there's one other one on the property. They put in a new electrical deal, so you can actually plug in 30 amps now. I think it might even be a 50 amp one. I have to double check that, but those are the only two spots where you can actually plug in a camper with those full plugs. If not, you're gonna have to do like I did a while back and get a adapter for your plug to make it a 110. But there's one over here, you might be able to see in between the mirror. There's one over here. I'm not going to guarantee that all these work, because I did find out a few of these ones do not work. And naturally, being the town doesn't have a lot of money, they're not going to fix it so much out here either. And that's the bathrooms over there. Men's and women's. It's only open, I believe, from like let's see, I think it's somewhere around April. And I believe they lock them back up around, actually there's only one bathroom, I'm afraid there's not even two bathrooms. There's two toilets in the one, but it's men's and women's. That's basically only one bathroom. The door next to it is the well. There's well water out here with a pump. You can see the one spigot there. There's spigots in different spots out here. There was a shower out here years ago, but I asked the guy about that, and he said they were not going to reopen that because, or refix it because there's a liability. So I can kind of see that because a lot of bums used to come out here and this and that. So, and then there's a socket out there on that property, or that part of the property. There's one out here, right there. And just so you know, folks, if you ever do come out here on a camper or start to camp out here, it's $6 a day if you're in a tent. If you bring a camper out here and hook up to utilities, it's $12 a day. I know a lot of people, when they do bring campers, they do hook up to utilities. So there is a, back where I showed you where the bathrooms was, there is a dump spot back there. It's the only dump spot on the whole property. So if you need a dump, you'd have to make sure it was angled right, or I mean, which I will. I've actually had to come around so I was facing the right way, because unless you have a extremely long hose and you're facing the wrong way, it's going to be a pain in the rear to dump your tank. So, but there is one deal back there by that spigot hose I showed you by the bathrooms back there, on the ground for dumping. That's the only one. There's nothing else on the properties. And not every spot has a water hydrant either. You might have to walk to the hydrant or have a long enough hose to reach the one. And then I think we'll just go ahead and come on around here real quick. Just go around in a circle. And then you come on around. There's another socket. It looks like there might be two of them there. But like I said, you might want to check them before pointing into these places, because I'm not sure if they even work. Some of these sockets are like really old. There's a hydrant over there by this. People rent it out for like parties or everything. I can't remember what they call that exactly right off the top of my head. But there's a hydrant over by that. I think it's $15 a day to rent that. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's what somebody told me. Last person to rent at that spot. And you come on up here. There's another plug sockets there. Picnic table. Some of these picnic tables are pretty wore out, so you may want to check them. I mean, so this town's pretty poor. They don't have a lot of money to fix all this stuff. That's why it's like it is. Plus, less people come out here to stay here. It's the only way to get money mostly. The guy told me when I stayed out here that they do get money from either any of these, but it's barely enough to pay to keep the street lights on around here. He told me it costs around $360 a month to keep the street lights on in this town for the actual main street. So yeah, that's quite a bit of money to have street lights. But he said unless they make money from like this or something, they don't really have no extra money most generally. There was the kiddie deal, not very big, but it's there. Slide, bouncy deals, bouncy horse. That looks like a maybe rocket dealer or something. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that thing is. Right there. Over there, there's a climbing thing, but it's kind of angled a little bit, so I'd be cautious getting on that thing. There's a swing set right on the other side of that tree, which I can actually just go ahead and pull around and let you see. Yeah, right there, if you can see it, it's like right there, swing set. I've seen people get on them, and they seem to be pretty sturdy. Come on back around this way. So there's like a jungle type thing that's made out of metal over there, but it's pretty crookedy and looking, and I I don't know if I trust anybody getting on that thing. It was me, but that's up to people. I haven't ever seen no kids get on it. So parents probably don't let them get on it because it looks like it's all crookedy and everything. It might break. This town's been around since I believe it was 1876 or 70 something or another. I'd have to look it up. It's been a long time since I've seen it. So I'm not sure how long some of the stuff's been out here. Come on around this way. That's the storage deal that they use. It says right there on it, camping fees, and it's also written on when you come into the park. There's some signs. There's also signs by the bathroom. Camping fees, RVs, 12, tent 6. It used to be 10, but they obviously upped it. I don't know what the reason was behind that, but it could be because they don't have a lot of money. So, and then there's a trash dumpster out here, and it's only out here like this year. They put it out somewhere around May, I believe it was, and around, I think it's October, November. He says they'll put it back into that enclosed spots, because they don't want people just dumping their trash in there. And that's where they throw all the old tree limbs, everything they find or come up with, or anything they clean up in this town. That's just the old wire hanging. I don't know. I don't think it's hooked up to anything. I think it's just an old piece of wire. This little fire pit there. Not all of them have fire pits, just for your thoughts. There's another bench there, and it looks like it's kind of bent up, like it's warped, so I'd be cautious sitting on that thing. Not sure what that deal is over there with the old tire rim. Come over here, there's another bench over there. There's 4 horseshoe pits. There's 2 right there. There's a couple benches there. It's put in by, I believe, would have been Sandy's brother-in-law back before he passed away, and he passed away in 21, so it's prior to that. And there's 2 more horseshoe pits there they put in here. There's people, I've seen them use them. So, and then come on around this way. There's nothing out this way, ladies and gentlemen. This goes out towards a field. It goes out of the park. There's a plug socket there. It looks like it possibly could be a single. I'm not sure. It said I'd be checking them because I found out some of these do not work, and you just wasted time pulling the camper in these places. There's a bench there which was never there before. It looks like they might just put that in not too long ago. That is the only actual grill. I don't know when it was put in here, but it's more solid than anything. I think it's the only grill on this whole property, which it is. And then there's another picnic table and a fire deal over there on the ground. That's when I was telling you where there's a second one. That one there has the extra slots in it too. There's only 2 of them on the whole property. And the newer one's over the one I was showing you where we parked. Not sure what happened with that. Like somebody might have cut that down and burnt it. There's another plug-in over there. It's a double plug-in. And that's about it. I'm not sure how many cameras fit on this whole property. Just one of the meters. And then there's one over there. There's 2 plugs on that one. 2 110 sets. And I'm not sure how that one works. There's one over here by this tree, but I don't know. That's just probably just there for some minor stuff. Because I don't see how you'd even get a camper in that spot. And it's called get out of here and I'll tell you. It's called Riverside Park. The deal says 1895 to 1936. So I don't know if that was when they redid it or what the case was, but said, if I ever get into a house one of these days, I'll be able to do a lot more, get some better editing stuff, and be able to edit these videos. But it's kind of hard with me having being a camper, and there's not a whole lot I can do in the darn thing. But there's a property over here with a camper on it. I'm not sure who owns that or anything to do with that. I never seen anybody over at that spot. This one here has a little building on it, some picnic tables, looks like a carport that was used for a cover. The old mayor owns that. I did figure that out when I came back around at one point. Because at one point that was just grown up weeds and everything, nothing was there. So I'm guessing they probably got it from a tax auction. That's one of the spots into the river right there. I will not pull down there right now because it's muddy. We just had rain for the last almost 2 days. I'm pretty sure I want to get stuck or whatever, but I don't want to still bother with it. That hill there goes down into the river, or down to the river. Looks like the river has gone down, but unless you have a good vehicle. People's even had 4-wheel drives, got stuck down there. I would not try it. I mean, I've went down a mud with this before. It's an older truck and it's not even 4-wheel drive, and I can pull out of that stuff usually, but I don't want to be bothered with trying to get out of mud holes right now. And then back over that way, that runs around to the other spot I showed you. And moving along, we are going. And it's called Wildcat Road 2000. This is that road that we was on. One that runs back into the falls over this bridge is 200th Road. Just so you know where the road is. That's the river. It's closed off right now. It's not let out. If it was, it'd be coming up a lot more than that. That's the river. And the other side over there, there's a hill that comes down that you can do. And some people also fish off this wall over here. So there's a sign, Neosho Falls city limits, speed limit 25. There's not a lot of cops around here, ladies and gentlemen, but I would not try to speed around here because you might get a surprise. The county cops are ones that come over here, the sheriff's department, and there might be one in town when you least suspect it. So I would not try to be messing around with that. Right here, but you can't see it no more because I'm sure the jack-o'-lantern who got this property doesn't give a flying hoot. Actually, if it's a guy I'm thinking about, which I'll show you the school, he committed fraud, so he doesn't give a flying hoot. He has money. I don't think he has a lot of money. I think he's got the debt to his rear end, but he has committed fraud, which people want to get him for. So we're working on that right now because the man has way too much stuff that somebody should have. And the way he's getting stuff, he's committed a lot of fraud, especially IRS tax evasion. So I don't know what any of y'all think about that, but people that do that need to go bye-bye and be done with, because a lot of us are struggling and we don't pull that stuff. So and on we go. Right here, this old building here, which is not even attacked much anymore. I mean, I think it is, because I think it might be a metal pole. But this stuff here, and this building here, what I was told used to be a old, and even that one there used to be a bunch of, like, some stores there or something, old stores back in the day before this town went out. And there's the bar I was telling you about, which is still intact. The bar used to be on the other side, and then they built it on the other side after the flood. Back there used to be a trailer, but somebody tore it down. They didn't give a flying hoot. They just let everything grow up. But there's the bar. Has been open for a few years now. The lady has been offered to sell it, or offer for somebody to sell it to them for some money. probably more than she paid for it, but she is just absolutely refusing to make a deal. So it's probably going to sit there. So either she loses it, do the whatever the case, or she finally decides she better take the money. is the one who backed her when that thing was open, so he, I think, has a stake in it. So if it ever comes down or whatever and he gets into it, he'll probably make her sell it. Cover some of his money. School vehicle. So there was a car, ladies and gentlemen, so that's why I backed down for a minute. That was a school vehicle. There's a senior building, Neosho Valley Senior Building, that barely held up over the years. People, well, we lost a lot of older people, which just kept that thing going, but they've got enough people that run it right now. Post office is over here. Community building right here. And actually, at one point they talked about shutting down this post office, but it never happened. I mean, it would create people going too far out to be able to do anything with that. And then you can barely see it back there, and I can't really get very close to the property, but like I used to. But that's where the school is, behind this post office where school used to be. Somebody put that up a while ago, probably a year or two back. This basketball court, that was never there. It used to be all nothing but high weeds. Probably something the city did, is my guess. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, there is not much in this town. Last census said there was 156 people here. Oh, and this here, it used to be my mom's house, but this guy's mom stole the house from my mom, basically squatted her ass in there, and she passed away, and now he's in it. So, and I have no way of doing anything with this yet. But this was never like this when it was my mom's. Stupid lady decided to squat there, and she lied. We tried taking her to court, and it's just a pain in the ass. It can't get people out of people's house when they squat. But that was my mom's house back there, which I would have to be in right now because she has passed. But there's a big problem. My sister committing a lot of fraud too, and shit that she ain't supposed to be. So yeah, I'm just buying time to basically karma get caught up on these people's rear ends for what they did to me. But then there's this property here. It's for sale, ladies and gentlemen, and it's right now $17,000. I was told this trailer here, which we knew the guy who lived there, was pretty decent at the time, but an accident meter's still there. I didn't realize there still even had a meter in it. But at one point it started at 30,000. Now it's down to 17. They said the trailer supposedly ain't livable. I called up about it, and they said it's just mostly for the property. So in this area, that's a lot of money for some land, even if it's half a block. There's a shed there. I'm not sure how good it is. One behind there. Who else is all left in this town, really? I mean, like I said, this is pretty spread out. There is a house behind these trees here, ladies and gentlemen. There was a for sale sign. I don't know how much they wanted for this place, but obviously the house is totally covered up with weeds and trees and icy mercy. And yeah, house is there. You might be able to see a little bit of over the tree line, but yeah, it's covered up by trees. So somebody had to cut the crap out of that to get through there. I'm not sure how much they wanted for it. There was a sign on the side of it saying for sale. I never got around to calling to find out how much they want for it, but the way it is now, I don't think they're going to get very much. Especially, let me turn this phone back around, ladies and gentlemen. Now I'm going out of town. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how much they wanted for that place, but I know the guy who lived there he wasn't all straight in his mind when he got a little bit older, so he ended up going to a nursing home. And I know the place hasn't had running water for over 30 years. So the guy was using buckets and everything. So I don't know what's all in there. I was told the second floor is now supposedly caved in. I haven't been in it myself for probably close to 15 years when the guy was still there, or right after he was put in the nursing facility. So I'm not sure exactly what the deal is with that at this point. So I don't know what the deal is with that at this point, but I just really know that it's so grown up. Somebody had to cut their way into that house back there. So that's basically the whole town of Neosho Falls. Like I said, there's only 156 people here. There's very few houses. You go up and down the blocks, the houses are pretty spread out. There's not much there. And trying to figure out how I want to do this out here, because the cemetery that I did a video on for you all a while back, I'm going to try to do a little bit more of this out here, that I have more time and everything. Yeah, I did the video originally on my friend, my best friend, and his sister, or my fiance's sister's husband, the one that passed away, and a few other ones I knew out here. But I'm gonna see what else is out here, because a lot more stones have been put out here not that long ago. So I'm gonna end this video, and that would just be, this would be the Neosho Falls video showing you what's here and vice versa. If you like the video, hit the like and hit the subscribe button if you want to see more videos. Like I said, I am going to try to get more videos done. I just haven't had the time or the way, but now that I'm having a little more time and a few more days all back to back, it'll be a lot more simpler for me to do these videos. So I'm going to end this one, and then I'm going to start another one on the cemetery, and just kind of see what's out here. Go from there. So y'all have a good day on this video, and I might be uploading a second video later on this evening along with this one, depending on how long it takes to upload it. So y'all have a good day or good night if I don't get one uploaded after this one, but if I do, then enjoy that one too. So have a good day.